Work. Stupid thing. I'll turn the hard base off now. People have a problem with hard base. For some reason I'm really zoomed in. Sorry about that. Let me put Discord on. Hello Discord. Where's the chat gone? I've lost the chat. Oh, YouTube have forever put a 20-second delay on, so sorry about that, guys. But it is what it is, what it is. I can't do anything about it, I'm afraid. Oof. So, before we get going, hello Majora, hello Israel, hello Razal Ghul. Oh, Razal Ghul. He's nasty, isn't he? Hi Yusuf. Hi Char, Border Tanks Blitz. Kerfuffles, my man, how are you doing? It's Evasion. What's that? It's Evasion. I'm awful at pronunciation, but afternoon to you, my friend. JP Tech, hello. We'll get to the keys later. Hey, Stish. Spicy Win, one of my members. Hello, Spicy. Yeah, nothing wrong with a bit of Russian hard bass, mate. Oh, well, that's what I say anyway. Royston, hello. Layla, another one of my members. Hello. And despite what it says on the tin, I'm actually drinking tea in a mug that says every time I learn something new, I push old things out the back of my brain. There you go. That's about right. Hey, Brimdog, how you doing, my man? Dominic, hello. Kogarashi Maru. How's it all going? So anyway, we've got a fair few things to deal with. Firstly, it's still the tournament season, so Asia's over and done with, but we still got CIS, we still got EU, and we've still got NA that's coming. So we'll look at how the Asian tour went. We'll then look at the debacle that was the rewards. Hello Kay, how are you doing? Which lots of people benefited from, and then we got a few mixed messages. So yeah, we'll deal with that. Then Wargaming have made some announcements. If you watched their stream yesterday, there's the Czech line coming. It won't be for a while yet, but it is coming. And stay tuned because they're going to do more announcements through the other tournaments as well. So it's not just a one-off. So you know, it's a lot of that. But before we get into any of that, what's in the store? Not much, funnily enough. We got the Dicker Max. Yes, biggest Dickus is back in the store for 2,000 gold. And for 15,000 gold, you can get the fully equipped Golden Dragon 121B. It's a fantastic tank. And that's not a bad price for a tier 10, you know. 15,000 gold. Fully equipped with all the XP. And of course you get an avatar. Avatar. Plus you get the camo, which is actually quite expensive. So it's worth it. It's worth it. It's a great tank. If you like your little mediums, that is a great little tank. If you love your Object 140 and your T62A, you really can't go wrong with this little beastie. Lockbox keys, well, we'll get to that later. And as you see there, for 15,000 gold, you can get a great little tier 10. And for 12,500, you can get a not so great tier 8. Oof, it's still in the store. It has to still be in the store because no bugger will buy it who's in their right mind. But there we go. But again, you get an avatar. So what more do you want? The Dream Team is still there. Chieftain 95, Type 59, and the ISU 130. Not bad tanks. Type 59 is nice. Chieftain's nice. ISU 130 is not bad, actually. You can get them all alone as well if you need to. And of course, at the bottom, avatar containers. So, you know, 100 gold for an avatar container. Can't be bad. Does anybody actually buy those? Does anybody actually buy the booster packs on the grounds that you get boosters for free? I'd love to know. Please, comments. I want the comments. I want somebody to tell me if they buy. And I know you're sticking your neck out and you're going to get a load of abuse. I want to know, do you buy the booster packs or the avatar containers? In the other part of the store where you've got to spend cash, you've still got the the M22 Locust and the T127. So if you like your seal clubbing, there you go. Keys are still there, gold is still there, and that's about it. There's not many tanks apart from the Locust and the 127. Why? it's tournament season. That's why. Not that it really matters, because you'll find that the clans, I believe, are using press accounts. So they're not using their own accounts. And that's about it in the store. Not much else is going on. Woohoo. Obviously, we've still got this ongoing operation off the grid to try and get all that sort of stuff. So maybe people will get the, what's it called, the agent. It's not a bad tank. It's not the best, but it's not a bad tank, to be fair. I mean, I've played with it on Asia, and it's okay. But that's in the store. That's the store over and done with, out the way. Now, starting on Friday, just gone, we had the first part of the BlitzCup, and it was Asia. And boy, was it entertaining. I thought it was entertaining. You may have not thought it was entertaining, but I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was some really... Let me get a replay up and going. Who can I have? Who's around? Let's have you first. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was a great tournament series. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. We'll get to that as well. But, I mean, it was the top 4 of Asia, and we expected that top 4 to give or take, to be fair, give or take. But Wild Ones Alper is in the Discord chat. He got his predictions completely upside down. And I mean, literally, completely upside down. But so did we all. Maddox is also in the chat. Maybe he'll have something to say. But we were shocked to see Feast go out on the first day, to be fair. We were then shocked to see Team ID not pulling out the stops. They're quite a good team, and it clearly wasn't their tournament either. GV didn't really surprise us on the second day with their first game out against HLV, but then HLV really surprised everybody by turning over GV in the grand final itself. Edge of your seat stuff. Nobody really had their money on HLV winning it. It's nice that they did. It's always good to have different clans up there and at the top and doing all that sort of stuff. It's fantastic to see. But, well, let's find out what everybody else thinks. Over to Jack, who's at the moment stuffing his face probably full of noodles. Why are you stuffing your face full of noodles? It sounds like it. Because you're scraping the bottom of the plate. That's why it sounds like it. But he's still stuffing his face. So, come on, Jack. You were commentating. What did you think? What did you think of the Asian tour? Well, that's one thing to take away. I mean, it was blatantly obvious that the Asian server likes their heavy meta, which is not surprising since the heavy buff, to be fair. Since their heavies have got their HP buff. But isn't that the same across all servers? I mean, the E5 and the IS4 gets a lot of shows on every server, to be fair.
Of the tanks for the EU server, but Asia server, they love IS4 a lot, and Mouse is also interesting as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should be so. First and foremost, Discord should be fixed now. It had a bit of a fit, but I've sorted it out, so you should be able to hear Discord now. Hopefully. Warden,
and then
replay there, you die. Okay. But
and then you have the cap win percentage at 40-point-something percent, 40.2 if I remember correctly, which is very high for the tournament.
There is a lot of capping going on Asia.
Yep.
Then again, it is a supremacy tournament, and it is I'd expect caps to be taken.
Yes, but then when you're talking about EU and the CIS server, that percentage should be much lower. I mean, especially when I did that for the previous skill, I think they had around like 10-ish% of cap wins.
No, I get that, but as I
Yeah.
said, I mean, it is a supremacy game, so there's no harm in using that advantage. And we saw
Nope.
yesterday in a lot of the battles, it was used to great effect, putting
It's
pressure
true.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, the one game, who was it? Was ID against HLV on Vineyards, I believe. HLV were the better team,
Yeah.
but ID had all the caps. It's as simple as that.
And then you have GV versus HLV on the Oasis Pubs as well, which
Yeah,
GV
yeah.
made kind of a half-hearted push on one side to distract the HLV's forces, so that they can send tanks and capture B, and then they won it by caps by just trying to stay alive as much as they could.
Yeah, and as I said, I mean, as a strategy, it's not too bad. I mean, it is a supremacy
No.
game, so a lot of those games were going down to the wire, and getting the caps was a wise move. So
Yeah, it was a wise move. Yeah.
I have no issue with that or anything. But the big talking point from everybody is mouses. Oh. So. We know. Let's just put people in the picture first, Jack, because it's a bit unfair to penalise the whole of the Asian server. Now, on the EU server, generally speaking, and on the NA server to an extent, generally speaking, the mouses tend to be avoided and left us almost to last, unless there's no choice in the matter. Now, what we saw yesterday from some of the teams, most notably GV, is that they like to focus the mouse first. Now, I understand a couple of things. Firstly, if you can get rid of the mouse quickly, to be fair, then it does have a demoralising effect on the team that has the mouse, because it's there for a reason. But they weren't dealing with the mouse quickly, and it was causing them a lot of problems. So I want to bring both Jack and Maddox into this to try and get an understanding of the theory behind the mouse attack, so to speak, on the Asian server. Because just because they don't do it on EU, and just because they don't do it on NA, or probably don't do it on RU, doesn't make the strategy a bad strat or an incorrect strat, so to speak.
I would say incorrect, to be honest with you.
Well, are we saying that because we're used to what we play and the meta?
Not really.
And stuff.
Not really. I think there is a really good reason why you won't want to do that, even if it's another strategy or if it's another meta, to be honest with you.
I mean, like I said, if you can get rid of them quickly, then it can have a good effect. But what we saw in, for example, the last game yesterday on Alpenstadt, GV pushed a single mouse with two IS4s, and they were stuck, basically, because they took two guns out of the game to deal with one tank, and that doesn't help. And therein lies the problem with focusing a mouse. But Maddox, I mean, you play on the Asian server. What are your views on this mouse attack, so to speak?
Well, to me, it's actually interesting thing to see, because even Feast sometimes does it a bit, but like I would say not to the extremes of other teams like GV and such. What I see it as is more like a static response. So the logical way to do it, obviously, is to not focus the mouse first, right? So basically, teams, when they see a mouse getting pushed, they wouldn't react to it. So the team seeing their own mouse getting pushed, they wouldn't react to it. So that's why I think some of the Asian teams want to exploited this sort of as a static response. So they just start focusing on mouse first, just to trigger, because they know that they won't have a reaction coming in, or the reaction will be slower than usual because there's a mouse, right? So they try to exploit this, but I'm guessing is how the other teams caught up. That's my theory, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we've seen quite a lot of servers and Asia servers as well. The problem with like going into the mouse. First, let's talk about the kind of the characteristics of a mouse. It has a lot of hit points. Its armor is very, very strong, and also one thing to note, its gun is not really that good. I think it has pretty low DPM. Accuracy is just meh, and then the depression is also meh. So mouse itself is just used as a meat shield. So a lot of clans, especially the EU and CIS, they use the mouse to bait the enemies to rush into that, so that when that happens, the other side can rush and make a move and trying to capitalize on that and shut down the isolated tanks of the other team. And it takes quite a long time to deal with a mouse, but then for the other side, it takes a shorter time, just because the tank they're rushing is probably not a mouse or something like that. So that's why I would say, in my opinion, it's an incorrect move to do so, unless it's absolutely necessary to kind of rush a mouse, which I don't know in which situation you would focus the mouse, except maybe holding when two teams are holding, and in this case, you probably won't focus fire, try to chip away as many hit points as much as possible.
If a mouse is making a mistake, for example, he's going out in the open, of course you want to focus him, right?
Yes.
So there's always no matter how you put it, there's always going to be cases where you want to focus the mouse, right?
Yeah.
But for Asia, I think Asia, like, they put it a lot higher in their priority list, and that's I think it's not a bad thing. Sometimes you can sometimes catch some teams off guard by doing that. But most of the time, it would just end up how we saw it, like yesterday.
Yeah.
It just end up that way.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, obviously, when both teams are holding in the kind of like a stalemate situation, obviously the thing to do is not really focus fire, because you really want to kind of chip away the hit points as much as they can, and the tanks. You want to kind of reduce the bargaining power of the enemies, and that's why you kind of like shoot whatever is out in the open, something like that. And then when you have an advantage, it gives you a better room to breathe, to kind of push and focus fire after that.
But in
other
go on, Maddox.
And another reason why I think Asia server loves to focus mouse is that I think there's a bit of a lack of a role. Like, the lack of players to fulfill the mouse role in the Asia server, as in, like, it's different from usual heavy tank, and teams usually would put, like, obviously you want to put their best mouse driver in there, right? But the thing is, I think Asia is actually lacking a bit in terms of having the correct players for the correct role. So sometimes we have somebody who doesn't play mouse often, but are given the mouse role because simply there's nobody in the team that can do the work, and I think this issue even exists in Feast a bit. Like, not always we have the correct player for the job, and usually sometimes we're actually forced to take that job because we have nobody else that can take the job for them, for us, and I think that's what teams build a habit, because they see, oh, we can take out a weak mouse player, then there's going to be a big advantage for us, right? So it sort of incentivize them to sort of do that, I think.
But we did. We did see, for example, I believe it was HLV against Team ID on Dynasty's Pearl, where ID took 3 mice and went to the B cap and got absolutely wrecked. And then HLV did a very nice push. I think it was HLV going through the center of the B cap, pushing through on 3 mice, which was interesting to see. And then there were other matches, most notably on Oasis Palms, where I think Maddox, your team Feast, I think you had a mouse in the city, a lone mouse, and another team did the same thing. And there were pushes by IS4s onto those lone mouses, which also were quite successful. So I can understand why, to an extent, because let's be honest, the strats are different on Asia, and by saying that everybody always focusing the mouse is a bad thing, I don't think is conducive to the game. I think what they need to what the teams on Asia need to realise, most notably GV, is don't always focus the mouse. Alpenstadt is a prime example of that, where they focused that mouse, and that really did cost them the game, to be fair.
To be fair, I would say, for example, like the HLV's team ID situation with the mouse in B did this per where HLV did the right thing to kind of decap the B, which is I think it's a good thing because because they don't want ID to have a cap lead. And then on Desert Sands, where GV did the same thing against HLV, which HLV learned that you don't want to kind of spam mouses into B. Yeah, in this situation, you should focus on the mouse. But then, especially in the brawl situation, late game stages, absolutely, I would say rushing into a mouse, especially when that mouse is not rushing you at the start. I think it's not a good move. And then, especially, you can look at my forum post, HLV versus Feast on Oasis Palm. Sorry, my dogs. Look at how HLV responded when Feast forces rush that mouse of HLV. And you would see why it's not a good idea to do so.
But I mean, what?
the one where we rush mouse with three or four tanks, was that?
Three tanks on Oasis Palms, and then you lost the game, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew what happened that game, and I knew what went wrong. But yeah, that's sort of the point, right?
Yeah.
So if you invest too much resource, like I remember the reason why I pushed that mouse that game is because we saw that as isolated. But,
yes.
But
that's
but like halfway pushing, we knew that okay, we invested way too much tanks there, and our tanks in desert are getting pushed. So what could have happened better there was actually if we did not push the mouse and wait for our E5s to retreat from the desert, so we can actually safely push the mouse without any repercussions on our tanks.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is to invest a bit less tanks onto that mouse because that actually backfired a lot.
Yeah. Maybe send one tank for the mouse. I think it's fine. One or two tanks against the mouse. I think it's alright.
Two. I was recommending two back then when we reviewed the games, but not like 3 or 4. That's for sure.
No, 3 or 4. No. Or you can just send like 7 onto one mouse, which is fine because that means that you don't have other tanks on the other side for the enemy team to rush you. So you kind of.
Not necessarily, because if you want to push 7 tanks into the same target, that target is definitely gonna be scrambling to get into a position where they gonna screw you up the most, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, the mouse you would want to drop down to the ditch and basically pull as much tanks to him as possible. So in that case, you don't want your entire team down there. So you don't want to overcommit in that case.
True. So you have that problem as well. So yeah. True.
Like especially, I think Feast's biggest issue right now is we're like overcommitting a lot. Like not necessarily we know that we're overcommitting, but sometimes it's just subtly overcommitting. And in some cases that costs the games.
Yeah, and that is something that ID was really good before. Like back in the BlitzCup preliminaries, they worked the numbers really well. But I don't know what happened to them during the BlitzCup. They couldn't work that way. They couldn't work that out. Worse, they couldn't even focus fire well. I just don't know what happened on ID.
I think the biggest issue is that between the BlitzCup preliminaries and the BlitzCup top 4, a lot of things could have happened. Teams could have pulled out, the teams could have trained a lot, the teams could have anti-stratted you, teams could do so much things in this 1 month period, and it's so hard to really for teams to go back in and recalibrate into what their intended abilities are. Like sometimes you're just somehow underperforming and sometimes you're overperforming, and between that 1 month gap, it's that sort of, how should I say it, the randomness from that 1 month or whatever could happen makes it all the hard to play with.
True. And we can see HLV definitely did train hard. I mean, they quite a lot.
They actually slapped ID the first time they made them. Like, and even GV, we were like, we came into the games. We basically came into the games.
Hey, Razor.
Trying to expect GV doing what we were expecting them to do, and then, yeah, in the end, they sort of did what we expect them to do, but we sort of screwed ourselves a lot at the same time because like we just cooled off a lot between that 1 month.
I could see that, especially when some comments saying that Feast took a lot fewer mediums and lights, which to my surprise is actually I don't know. I believe some of the maps only took 1 medium, which is quite surprising to me as well. But then, like
I think
Faust's first game,
I-
it's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the
Some
usual
of the-
feast.
some of the maps we adjusted. I think we just over adjusted some of our maps because we were scrimming against NA, and I think we sort of over adjusted our gameplay to try to counter what NA was doing, and sort of backfire a lot when it comes to counter fighting Asia teams.
Yeah.
Like because NA emphasizes a lot heavier setup than Asia, right? So we were doing what we're doing against, like, let's say Ishita,
Get
GMA,
off.
and we were sort of getting slapped. So we were trying to sort of switch around a bit to see, okay, we got slapped by heavier meta. Let's say we should be using more IS4s. We should be using a bit less mediums and so on, and see how we go. And I think that also played a bit into how we were able to have everybody on the same page when we played the games.
But I mean, in fairness, I noticed a lot of the Asian teams had gone a lot heavier than normal this time round. I mean, there's normally a scatter. I mean, there's normally a lot of heavies on Asia, but there's normally a scattering of lights and mediums. And to be frank, Feast aren't the only ones who changed their meta to an extent. The other teams did, and what became obvious was that certain teams, like Team ID, for example, I mean, that they are, I mean, at the end of the day, ID like playing heavy at the best of times anyway, but they just seemed uncomfortable with a complete heavy lineup. And HLV were the same. I mean, HLV, when they played with a couple of, with a light, like a Vickers or etc., they had a much more fluid gameplay. It was interesting. It was interesting to see.
Talking about Team ID, actually, they are the team in the top 4 that uses the most heavies. I think they have the average score of 1.7 something, which is the highest amongst all the teams in the top 4 for the Asian server. And
then the Feast was like the lightest, right?
Yeah.
The lightest, yeah. Feast is the lightest, 1.61. But Team ID, although they use heavies, they are very aggressive with heavies. That is to say, because I mean, I said that. Team ID, their average win duration is 3 minutes and 19 seconds, about 3 seconds and 3 minutes and 10-ish minutes, 10-ish seconds, so lowest, and then like 19 seconds lower than the other teams. But that has due to, like, Team ID faces the lower 4 teams as well. I mean, Boon, CHATS, RN, and Low. And to be honest with you, I think these 4 clans, they are, I mean, they're lower in terms of the skills. I mean, as a team, to be honest with you, really. I'm not trying to put any shade on any of the teams here, but when you face against lower skilled teams, then you might have better reason to kind of do a more rushing or more quicker battle strategy. I don't know. That could be the reason why Team ID during the BlitzCup, they feel a lot slower than they usually are, and they are not comfortable with it at all. Totally, I don't think they are comfortable with the slower.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Battle.
I mean, it seemed that some of the teams,
style.
some of the teams were uncomfortable with their meta choices, but you know that is what it is. I mean, the thing that sort of I mentioned it yesterday to Jack and Aminet before we started the stream. I do a lot of quick tours on Asia, and one of the things that I notice is that it's bloody difficult to get a tournament on Asia. So we rolled out in tier 8 and there were like 3 teams, and we rolled out in tier 10 and there was like 2 teams. And I mean that's not great for clans coming up. You know, Asia's got to embrace tournaments a lot better, I think. Because as you said, Maddox, I mean, when you then go and roll out against another server like NA, where NA uses completely different style of play and a different meta completely, it can sort of throw you off guard a little bit. But it is a concern that, you know, if you try and go into a tier 8 or tier 10 tournament, for example, on the EU server, if you don't get there quickly enough, then all the spaces run out, and there's quite a lot of spaces. But on Asia, it's
It
pretty.
never runs out.
Yeah, Yes, Layla, I was about to tell him, if he's going to carry on eating, turn your bloody mic off.
Me.
Yeah, because everybody's hearing you scraping your plate.
I'm sorry.
You know, and that's the thing. So we do need more tournaments. Paul, I understand your point. Hang on a minute. Paul, I understand your point. Give us a topic and we'll happily talk about it. Seriously. Sorry, Maddox, you'll go.
No, we don't need more tours. We need more tournament teams.
Yeah, we need more teams to step up and just play tournaments. And guys, I mean, you know, Layla's in the chat. I literally do a quick tour every Wednesday on Asia, and it's a thrown together team of subscribers and people who happen to be on YouTube at that particular time. Excuse me. So it's not like you know, you've got this one-sided, oh, I'm not in a clan, or I'm not good enough, or whatever. Or I don't even have the tanks. Layla, I dragged Layla into a tier 10 on Asia, and she hasn't got a tier 10. She took a tier 9. So it can be done, guys, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. If you lose or win, you get credits. That's the main thing. So give it a go. Seriously, Asia. Give it a go. But anyway, the Asia tournament is now over, so you know, I think all 4 clans deserve to be there. It was not the tournament we expected outcome-wise, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, GV pulled it out at the end. You know, they played well against GV, who turned them over earlier in the day, and it was nice to watch. We had on the English-speaking server, on the English-speaking YouTube with Wargaming, we had almost 20,000 people watching. I mean, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
One thing to add about the Asian tournaments, I think maybe something that Asian clans need to bear in mind in the next season, probably dealing with expectations. We saw RN where they were favorites, like front runners, and the entire thing in the tournaments, and they kind of failed miserably in the they tried really hard, but they couldn't win any single fixture in the BlitzCup. And then, sorry to say about Feast, but same thing happened to Feast to some extent in the top 4. So I believe it's something that all the Asian clans need to bear in mind, the expectations. How do you deal with expectations, and how do you not let your teammates, or I mean, especially the teammates. I'm not saying the callers. The callers are the ones that should be least blamed about the team falling apart, something like that. But sometimes when you have really good expectations, dealing with the expectations could be sometimes a kind of a trick to deal with. I mean, something that has to be dealt with very carefully. If you see my point there.
Yeah, but there's expectations from both sides. I mean, let's take the community expectations first. I mean, the community, you know, I've said this a long time about Raid on EU. The community look at Raid on EU and they automatically think they're the best clan on EU because they won Twister. It's not the same team that won Twister. And they are rebuilding. They're still a great clan. They're still one of the hardest clans to beat, and they still definitely should be in the top 4. But there's a big expectation always with Raid. No matter, you know, even in transition periods, there's an expectation that Raid should be winning everything. On Asia, that expectation follows, unfortunately, Maddox Feast, where the community has this massive expectation that Feast should win every game. Because you went to Twister last year, simple as that. And you've been to Twister before last year, etc., etc. So you know, there's a lot of pressure from the community in that regard.
Yeah.
And then
the pressure. I don't understand the pressure though. Like, I mean, dealing with the pressure is very hard, to be honest with you, and kind of to continue to live up with the expectations is sometimes even harder than thinking about the strats and working with strats in the game. So I do understand the pressure here.
But
I think the pressure. To be honest, the pressure mostly comes from maintaining expectation rather than generating new expectations.
Oh yeah,
So,
true.
like, like it, like, it really put a, like every time I go to offline, I can feel like that extra pressure coming into me, especially either be as a caller or as a team captain or whatever, because everybody expects Fee shine the most in offlines, right? Because that's where everybody shows who's the best server there, and obviously being the man in Asia who has been to offline for two times already, like you always want to win as much as possible, so that pressure goes a lot more when it's offlines, and there are times that like the pressure gets so much it's really hard to take it.
Yeah, that's
And
why
it's definitely not easy at all.
not easy. That's why I said yesterday on the stream that esports teams, the professional ones, they take a SWOT psychologist with them because that kind of pressure, the level of expectations that you're dealing with can be very overwhelming.
But the expectation also, like, obviously expectation comes with responsibility. Well, is it responsibility? Not really. But somewhere around along the lines of that.
Yeah.
But I think it's not only you managing the expectations of others, you also want to manage the expectation of your own self, because even if nobody expects you to do anything, but if you have so high expectation on yourself or on your team, like sometimes that expectation when it falls short, you're just not gonna be able to handle it correctly, and things gonna go horribly wrong.
That's very true, though. So it's very. I mean, if you have expectations, it's very. You need to deal with it very carefully, whether positively or negatively or whatever which way. But first and foremost, your mental health is very important. That's for sure.
I'll let you on a small factor. Ever since Feast won the 2018 Twister Cup, I think me as a player, I had my expectation for my own team has been increasing.
Yeah.
Like non-stop. So every tournament I expect my team to perform as high as I could, like the top of the scoreboard. Like I won clean rounds even against the best team, the second best team in the server.
Yeah.
Like regardless where we just changed out 10 days ago or whatever the hell we just did, I expect like so high it was really unrealistic even for my own. Like
I'm sure.
Like
sure. I understand.
I find myself in so much different situations where my team won the game, but I wasn't satisfied at all.
Oh yeah, I got the feeling at times.
And it's a bit frustrating, to be honest. And I really hope, like, I'm not sure if I could really do it, but I really hope after this BlitzCup, I'm able to mentally reset, at least expectation wise, and see if I can start over again.
True. Very true. I wish all the best. Don't let people talk you down. That's for sure.
But I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people, a lot of people don't realise how exhausting it is to do these tournaments, both mentally and physically. I mean, to be fair, these guys are absolutely shattered afterwards. I mean, we were only streaming it, and I was mentally drained at the end of the stream.
True.
And all I'm doing is watching a game and commenting. So, I mean, when the pros are doing it, it is hard work for them. And, you've got thousands of people looking at your every move at the same time. And you've got noobs like me calling out your mistakes at the end of the game. There's a lot riding on it, and it's not like watching a QT or a bunch of 40%ers roll out where they're just doing it for fun. It's absolutely it's a completely different level, and a lot of people don't realise how higher the level is. I don't think. And that's where some of the community expectation. I mean, it's guys, you're always going to have fans for your clans, and Feast has got a very big fan base, to be fair, Maddox, and they do have expectations for you. And unfortunately, that comes with the territory, and it's no different to when Alex Ferguson left Man United. Everybody was absolutely gutted that Man United started losing everything, because the expectation is, how can they lose? They've been winning everything for years under Ferguson, and it's part of the territory, I'm afraid, and it's difficult. It is difficult, but as I said, I don't want to go into a breakdown of what happened to Feast, because that's not fair. But all I will say is all 4 clans, be it they go out early or they didn't win, they all came and put in the effort. Simple as that. Feast, it was just not your tournament this time round, for whatever reason. And it's not for us to tell you what those reasons are. You're the team. It's your team. You're the captain, and it's for you to keep that to yourself and amongst your team. All we can say is it was disappointing that Feast went out on the first day. But we're glad that you got there in the first place anyway. And there's always more seasons.
Yeah. And as I mentioned a lot of times, psychology it's sometimes even more important than your skills and teamwork in the game. The psychology.
There's a lot of things,
don't underestimate it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things up for grabs. But as I say to a lot of people, don't be too downhearted.
Yes.
Your time in the sun may feel like it's come and gone, but it hasn't really. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Everyone has an off day.
You can't win them all.
I mean, I know we can't win them all. I know it's really having an off day, but it's like, how, like, because how teams really change a lot if they lose a lot. Like, for example, like most of the Asia players, I'm talking about really high level, like top teams usually have a lot of changes right after a season, regardless of them losing or winning. I think it's sort of like
Jack, stop scraping your plate on stream. Seriously, people are complaining, mate. They're sending in the chat. So sorry, Maddox.
Yep. But I think like what were we talking about again? What was the topic again? I forgot.
Feast. You can't always win.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, like definitely we can't always win. Obviously we know we're gonna have an off day once in a while. Like, but like other than that, I think things that plays a lot is just that we're not really well. When we say professional players, you gotta keep in mind that Blitz compared to other esports, Blitz esport player does not get paid or doesn't get paid at all.
Correct.
So we have to balance a lot of our commitments between the game and our own real life as well, because some of us go to school, some have to work real life for daytime work,
Yeah.
and sometimes really tiring to keep that commitment up, and I've seen a lot of players, well, even right now, just leaving RAP to a big season because they simply have invested way too much time into the game for their own good. And sometimes when a team doesn't perform, maybe it's not usually when that team is bad. It's sometimes just that player was not feeling it because he was very busy recently, or this player wasn't or whether it be this player has an exam soon or this player has been busy lately. It's just like a lot of the players does not really understand. I think a lot of the players don't understand that a lot of the things, there's a lot more things than just a game to players, especially for professional players here.
Yeah.
Even when we call professional, we're not really that professional.
Well, just on that point, because I'd be interested to know what from a pro plan's viewpoint. Now, I don't know fully. Well, I do. I'm lying. I sort of know Wargaming's position on this. But do you think that professional clans, and we know who the professional clans are across the servers, Do you think they should be able to go out and get individual independent sponsorship?
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing it, but the reason why I think I heard 7 Star did it before, like as
They got told off.
C4.
But they got told off.
Was that the case?
Mm-hmm.
Or was
Yeah.
that Wargaming told them off? Or
Yeah,
was
yeah. Wargaming told them off, I believe. But 7 Star did have sponsorship. I believe it was 7 Star. Jack can fill us in on that. He knows more about these things than me.
I remember I heard about that 7 Star.
It was definitely one of the Russian teams had.
It
had
was definitely a
sponsorship.
Russian team for sure. It was definitely a Russian team for sure. I'm actually not sure why Wargaming doesn't allow it, but in my opinion, yes, they should be allowed to at least, like for example, have an organization to back the players up, because, like if you look at other esports that are more established, like there are no concept as just teams. You
Mhm.
wouldn't have a team having 5 players that participate in the big tournament.
Mhm.
You have organization that brings the team in, that brings the players in, and usually the players are really dedicated. That's why they need that sort of that support,
Mhm.
just to keep them thinking nothing but the game itself. So those esports have way higher quality of gameplay because the players basically live the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so to
mean,
say.
to add, I think it was C4, if I remember correctly. It's
It
either
was-
C4
it
7
was-
Star.
It's
Yeah.
definitely one of them.
It was one of the
Yeah.
Russian clans. I can't remember which one myself. I know it was a Russian
yeah.
clan.
It was RC4 before they went to 7 Star. Or was 7 Star?
Yeah, that's
It was
that
definitely
was.
either of them.
I believe if Wargaming doesn't allow sponsorship, I think it is to deal with the legal side, which Fujit might have better idea on this.
I
don't think it's because of that. I don't know. I don't know if they frown upon it because it interferes with the main event sponsors. Just in case, I don't know. Is the honest answer.
I think that might.
But-
I think
but do
that
you
might
think-
have something
yeah.
to do with it?
Yeah, do you think the
Because-
legal side would be an issue though?
No, I don't. Because if look, let's take virtually all the right. We don't take this the wrong way, guys. In clans that are below the top 16, we're pretty. We know pretty much across all servers who's relatively going to be in the top 16. We realistically know, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 rotations here and there, who's going to be in the top 8. Okay, so it's not like it's incredibly fluid. It's not in the pro clans. I mean, Jack, take EU. Would you expect those 4 not to be in the final, in the grand finals? Really?
Which one?
On EU, the 4 that we've got, would you expect them not to be the top 4 for EU? We've got Raid, Loka, Legion, and Endgame.
Yeah, I
It's the
expect them
usu-
to be there.
It's the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Then we've got Asia. Okay.
Well, Asia is different.
GV's there, and HLV got there, yes, because they lost RN and but the top 8 is still the same, guys. Realistically, with the exception of 1 or 2 rotations, it's pretty much the same old clans that are getting there, with the exception of 1 or 2. But you're always going to get 1 or 2. This is why I said you have to look at the top 16 overall. Same with America, the North American server. Rain, or everybody knows Rain are going to be there. Pramo, which is Void, are always going to be there. This year, you got GMA and Ishita because Pincer didn't go through. So again, it's, but they're always still top 16. And RU, I mean, look at RU. We've got G-Game, we've got 7 Star, Mercy. It's the usual suspects again. So I don't see why there would be an issue fundamentally with having sponsorship, to be fair. Now, there then comes a point in time where, okay, for the Twister, it could be seen as a disadvantage because if you're playing on the Russian server, and World of Tanks Blitz is, very popular in Russia as a whole. As I've told you before, it's on their TV, it's on, it's in their TV shows, on their movies, people are playing it, it's part of their social thing, yeah? Like Facebook is part, you watch an American movie nowadays and kids are playing Fortnite. Well, in Russia, they're playing World of Tanks Blitz funnily enough. So the chances are in Russia, because they do have a lot of oligarch billionaires, that it could cause a problem. I don't know. So there'd have to be tight rules about it, about how much you can sponsor and etc., and what sponsorship brings or doesn't bring, for example, for obvious reasons, because you can't have one team being sponsored by an oligarch to the tune of $1 million a year when another team being sponsored by some poor schmo to the tune of $10,000 a year. It's just not fair.
Interesting.
But in principle, I don't see why there should be an issue with having pro teams being sponsored, in principle. I mean, wargaming are never going to pay you. And the whole idea about being a professional is that you get paid to do it. Okay? That's the thing. So a professional sports person gets paid to play that game. Now, if you're a professional esports person, then you technically get paid to play that game. Now, you could say, but there's a prize fund. And prize fund doesn't mean anything unless you're looking at the game of golf, where if you play golf as an amateur, you can't win money. You can only win prizes like golf clubs in a golf bag, but you can't actually win cash. So, Blitz has got a long way to go yet until it moves away from that. But even in golf, when you become a pro, you generally get paid to play. Okay, even the guys who come last in the big Masters tournaments, they actually get a fee. They get paid, and they get sponsorship. Now their sponsorship comes because we're looking at golf now. Their sponsorship comes in the form of free equipment. So, there's only one provider of Blitz, and they're not going to give every single clan free tanks. They do for these big tournaments. They give them press accounts for the offlines, but they're not going to do that 24/7. It's just wouldn't do it. So we can't give them equipment. So sponsorship's got to come in other forms, and I don't see fundamentally, in principle, anything wrong with that, personally. But it'd have to be managed and controlled. And I think somebody once said to me, and I think it was Amunet, and I agree with her on this, because it's approximately 2% of the player base, 1% of the player base actually plays the big tournaments, i.e. the Pro Tours. So when you've got 99% of the player base not doing it, then it's not top of the list of priorities for wargaming, let's say. So maybe they should change that. But we'll see.
But how about for a game like League of Legends? Because I believe it's also like 1% that is only playing the professional. I don't know, but I could be wrong. But
no, I have no idea. Don't know it.
yeah, because I believe that I mean esports, even though not a lot of player base do that, some games put it as a high priority because it can generate a lot of fans and kind of like a lot of sponsorships for something like that. I don't know. I mean, you can have that argument, to be honest with you.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, as I said yesterday on the English-speaking server, the English-speaking YT channel, we got close to 20,000 people watching, which is a first for wargaming on their English-speaking stream. On their Russian-speaking stream, it was triple that. Okay? So, it's not like these tournaments, these esports tournaments, don't generate interest, because they do. Okay, I would say that 95% of the interest, that's probably being a bit too harsh. I'd say 85% of the interest is, where's my keys? Whereas 15% is there to watch the game and see what's going on. But a lot of people are there for the rewards, clearly, and it's an enticement. And if there's got to be enticements, and it's good that they do these enticements. But whilst you've got this, yes, the esports side is generating interest. I mean, it was the Asian server finals the last 2 days. Amunet was doing the reward stream. She had almost 4,000 people waiting for that stream. They had almost 20,000 yesterday. So it's not like, and this is the Asian server. So it's not like people aren't interested. And the Asian server is generally known as the lowest player-based server. So about 5,000-6,000 people play on it on any given day.
Yeah.
So these are good viewing figures. Yeah, okay. A lot of them are from other servers trying to get their keys and stuff. I get that, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is people are still watching. So yeah, there is a little bit of that coming from the esports side, but wargaming are never going to give the pro clans anything. Why would they? Because where do you draw that line? Do you draw it at top 4, top 8, top 16, top 32? Where do you draw the line? You've got to draw the line somewhere. And, independent sponsorship may go some way to helping. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hello, Wise Alan Novak, another one of my members.
Yeah, I generally think that people heavily underestimate the player-based interest in esports in this game, and I believe we are all trying. Like you are trying, I am trying, Mnet's trying, every Gnostic is trying, and Wargaming is also trying to some extent to get the most out of the kind of the interest from the player base on the esports, and I really hope that in the future, in normal conversations about World Tank Splits, we're going to talk about not just about the containers or the new tanks, but we're going to talk about that team. How has it been so far, or that tournament? What do you think about that clan, or what do you think about the performance, something like that? I hope it's going to be like that in the future.
But again, I think that's a double-edged sword. And the reason I say that is because if you go on and on too much about the pro clans, you put the other 90-odd% of the player base off playing tournaments. Okay? It's as simple as that. Because nobody wants to play a tournament where they're going to get smacked by one of the pro clans in the first 5 seconds. Nobody wants to do that. And what I think Wargaming need to do, and they've done it with ratings, they now need to focus on getting the tournaments in the people's minds. That's to say, tournaments are not as traumatic as you think. That's not saying, the pro tournaments are always going to be there, okay? But you've got to get this barrier down whereby I'm not good enough to play in a tournament because Legion are in it, or because there's a team from APA. And this is the thing, that's the barrier we've got to overcome. And if we spend too much time just speaking about the pro clans, then we sacrifice people wanting to jump into tournaments because they think it's only the pro clans who play them. Therein lies the problem.
Very true. Very true indeed, and also it's important to kind of follow the middle of the pack as well, and also Wargaming, they've done it back in 2018, so it's format. I think that's a really good format, and during the off season, not the big seasons, because I still favor the strongest weakest principle in the big seasons, but with the right seeding, obviously. That is very important, right seeding. But yeah, I think the kind of pro esports and the usual tournaments, I do consider these two separately personally. So I don't know.
Well, to an extent they are, but to another extent they're not, because once you start playing tournaments, you may start pulling together a clan that can actually challenge. And I'm not saying it's going to be immediate. You may aim for the top 16, then the top 8. I don't know, but you should do something to. Don't get me wrong. Wargaming recently have ventured into this realm by giving you these season coins to get tanks, and you can only get these season coins if you play tournaments. So it's not like they're ignoring it completely and saying we're not interested in tournaments, because they are. But I think they just need to do a little bit more, and they need to encourage the player base that. Doing tournaments is not a bad thing. Just like they did with ratings. There was a big thing on ratings, there still is, and I think there should be more done with tournaments. That's just my personal opinion. And that's not taking anything away from the pro tours, because to be fair, if more people did tournaments, you'll probably get even more people watching the pro tours, because they want to see how to play these things. And it's like I said, it's I don't see how it's a loss to Wargaming, because if you start promoting your tournaments, then the people will look at the pro teams, and they will scratch their heads and say, "Oh, I need an IS4 or I need an E5," because they need the meta. And if the pro teams are only playing certain tanks, then, not being funny, the rest of us sheep are going to follow that. To be fair, you know, it's why do you think Nike spend billions of dollars on getting the top footballers to wear their football boots? So the rest of us can turn around and say, if I buy those football boots, I'm going to be like Lionel Messi or whatever. It doesn't work that way, but that's what we do. And it's the same with pro teams. You know, if you get people hooked onto tournaments, eventually they will say, well, look, these teams only play the IS4 and the E5 and this tank. I need to grind that tank. And it's interesting how it works. Just my point. Hello, Treadhead, how you doing? That's what I think anyway. But that's enough about tournaments, because let's go on to the biggest subject hitting the world at the moment. Keys on Asia and other servers. So, I watched the stream yesterday, even though I was involved in it, on my Asian account. And I got over 200 keys. Woohoo!
Same. I got 21k gold from that. I unlocked the FCM 5 times. I unlocked the Bulldog 2 times. I got some of extra camels. I sold those camels, got more gold. I bought the 1-1B. I bought camels. No, I don't want to flex anymore. Wait.
Yeah, don't say too much. I mean, couple of things. There was a massive technical error, and the reason this technical error came about is because for the first time, it was not server dependent. Okay, so normally when you watch an Asian tour, you're only going to get the reward if you've got an Asian account. That wasn't the case this time. It didn't matter where your account is, what your region. If you logged into the game, if you logged into the right portal, you'll get rewards, be you watching on your EU account, your NA account, or whatever, despite the fact it was just Asian tour yesterday. And that's created the issue, I think. Now, what then happened is, and my understanding is, the majority of those who benefited were from the Asian server, but other servers did benefit, don't get me wrong. And obviously it caused a lot of concern when people started realizing that things were going down. Now, a couple of things. Wargaming have given an official announcement. It's on their Discord.
Yep.
And no more keys are going to be issued. They've stopped all rewards being issued as of this moment, whilst they sort out the technical issue. So don't worry, if you watch the stream, you will still get your rewards eventually. Yeah. Certain servers, notably CIS and I believe Asia, I'm not sure about Asia yet though, will get compensation because CIS, the Russian stream had a few issues, I understand. On day one, it went down completely. Mainly because they had almost 200,000 people watching.
And this is why I got a lot of dislikes on my stream.
Yeah. It basically swamped YouTube. so that didn't help.
Yeah, that didn't help. But I have to say this because I believe this is a really big error. I think it could have cost Wargaming a lot of money to begin with. So I was saying like the persons responsible for that should be held accountable in a certain way because no, I'm serious because really Wargaming is going to lose a lot of money because of that error. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you see, there is somebody who basically profits a lot.
Thousands of worth of rewards they got. I mean, that's a big amount, and you have like multiple people having that issue. So I mean,
just want to stop you there. I get your point, but to be honest with you, I'm not interested in what they do with the individual. I'm only interested in how it affects you, the player. So if somebody gets repercussions for making an error in Wargaming's end, then so be it. It's up to Wargaming. How about you, the player? So I'm going to read out the announcement by Wargaming. So Due to technical issues, CIS region players will receive the rewards for the streams we had on November the 6th and the 7th during the following week. So that's CIS only. Players from EU, NA and Asia regions will receive the rewards for the November the 7th stream during the following week. Okay, so if you're an RU server-based player and you watched both streams, you won't get rewards from either stream until this week. The reason being is because YouTube went down on day 1 and they had issues, and secondly we had issues across the board yesterday. It says also during next week the CIS players that watch the stream will receive compensation of 2 additional keys. That's compensation for CIS because it really was a nightmare on CIS on Friday where it just completely died. And then most importantly, and this is important guys, you've got to listen to this, some players erroneously received the wrong amount of keys. This transaction will be cancelled on all servers and all regions, mainly Asia. Now, that's important. So, guys, if you've got keys, more than 7 keys in more than 12 keys, and you're on the Asian account or you're on EU or on NA, and you've got more than 12 keys and you watch both streams, do yourself a favour, do not under any circumstances use those keys, because this has now been announced. It was announced at midnight last night for me, whatever time that is for you. So that's midnight for me is I think 8 o'clock in the evening for EU, UK time, or 9 o'clock CET, and whatever time it is in Asia, it's about 3 in the morning in Asia. So if you've spent keys after that time, then it could cause a problem, because they've made an announcement, okay, saying there was an error. Now, I believe up until that announcement, if keys have been spent, then tough luck wargaming, to be fair.
Really
all up before that time. Thanks.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this, guys, be sensible about this. I had 275 keys on my account, and I know I'm not entitled to 275 keys on my Asian account. I was entitled to 12 for watching both streams, you know, and it's like, I know I'm not entitled to the 30 avatars and the 30 camos and whatever. So seriously, be sensible. You know you're not entitled to them. Do yourself a favour. Don't get yourself into trouble with wargaming after the announcement.
No. Especially it's in the rules as well.
Yeah, because
You can exploit box. Yeah, you can exploit box.
It was their mistake. It was their mistake up until they made the announcement.
Yeah.
After the announcement, we are aware of the mistake, and therefore it could come back to bite us, is what I'm saying. So just be understanding that as soon as the announcement went out, it changes everything, because effectively then you are technically stealing. So be careful, guys. No, be careful. Wargaming did say to us they have no intention of penalising anybody up until the announcement. Now I don't know if that's changed, but it's going to take them time to roll back, basically. So be careful on this. Seriously, be careful. All I'm saying is, it's not your fault you got the keys, it's Wargaming's fault. But after midnight my time last night, you spending those keys you weren't entitled to is your fault. So don't moan about Wargaming being nasty. If you spent the keys before the announcement, you've got an argument, well done you. Very cleverly done. But if you did it after the announcement, you could be on...
Thanks, Fujit, thanks.
You could be on a sticky wicket.
That's what I did. That's what I did before. Yeah, I already spent all my keys before Wargaming Like,
Shame, shame, shame. Ring the shame bell.
Yeah. But it wasn't just keys. It wasn't just keys. It was boosters. It was avatars. It was ×3 or ×3.
yeah, but
It was lots of things. They gave. I mean, I put screenshots in. I think Jack, you should have seen them. Where I had like almost 600 boosters just landed in my account. And I said to Wargaming, I think I got a bit too many. I got 34 avatars for watching. So yeah, it is basically they made an error. We know that. But we are now aware of the error, so be careful, guys. Is all I'm saying. You know, don't sit there thinking that it's Wargaming's mistake, therefore I can just use it with impunity. In the real world, it doesn't work that way. And take this from a lawyer. If, for example, if you get your salary from your employer, and let's say you're paid $1,000 a month, okay. And 1 month, your employer pays you $2,000 by mistake, yeah? And you would think, ooh, extra money. If they find out that they overpaid you, and they say to you, sorry, we overpaid you, pay us back, and you say, I can't, I've spent it, they can actually go to the police and get you arrested for theft. Because you knew you weren't entitled to that money, okay?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
So you should have actually gone to your employer and said, I've got some money. What is it? Is it a bonus or what? So you should have raised it. It's bizarre how it sounds, but that's how it works in the real world, guys. So be careful.
That's why I sent a ticket when I got like the trailer thing. Because I don't know if it's an error or if it's really a ward, but I know it now. It's not an error. So
Yeah. So up until the point where they pointed this error out, just be careful. But also be careful with the fact that, strictly speaking, you knew that you weren't entitled to anything other than 12 keys. So be careful. Be careful for the shit to hit the fan a little bit.
So if he's got
So keep an eye on what's going on with your accounts, guys. If you've spent the keys or whatever, keep an eye on it. If you've got hundreds of keys, don't spend them. For the love of God, now, do not spend them. It's really not worth it. Seriously, it's not. And you know, let's wait and see how this one develops. But a lot of people were very happy. A lot of people were very upset because they didn't get keys. And then there's Muppets like me who've got 275 of them. Woohoo!
Yeah. I wish WG had some kind of mechanism through which we can give keys and other stuffs to other players individually. But I feel really bad. Personally, I feel really bad.
You don't want to go down that road. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice if we could do a gift shop, so we could put things into a gift shop for clan mates or whatever. But we'll see.
Yeah, but seriously, wargaming, that's it. I mean, the person's responsible for that. Really, it's a major problem, really.
Well, you say that, but I don't know. Is the honest answer. And the reason I say I don't know is because it seems to have affected the Asian server most. So it sounds to me that they just weren't prepared for rewards to be going out across all 4 servers. That's all it was. And somebody's obviously typed in the wrong algorithm or whatever. And
the 4 loops didn't work.
And basically all that's happened is, you know, those on Asia, a lot of people on Asia have benefited, and that's about it. But I don't know. I don't know if it was a major issue. I just don't know. Obviously, I don't work for Wargaming.
Well, I mean, in terms of the players, it's not a major issue. But in terms of the Wargaming, the company itself, it's a major issue because, like I said, we're involving thousands worth of rewards being handed out freely. So for Wargaming as a company, that's a major issue there.
Well, yes and no. I mean, a lot of what they were giving away. I mean, the avatars don't cost anything. The camos don't cost anything.
That's true.
The boosters aren't really going to give you much. And it's the keys that are the main thing. And the keys are going to get you tanks, or you can sell them and get credits. But the credits isn't
credits.
loads. And you're going to get gold if you get the tank or whatever. It's not vast amounts of revenue that we're talking about here. And it's basically in-game goods. So they're getting it back to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not such a disaster. I mean, if it was where everybody suddenly got $1 million gold in their account, then yeah, it's a huge disaster because then everybody's free because all of a sudden everybody's free to play. Then it becomes a massive disaster. But it's concerning for them. But majority of it is centralized around the Asian server. And if it gets them more publicity to get more people on the Asian server playing, then woohoo, bonus. Who cares?
Oh my god.
That's what I have to say on that.
But seriously, it's not fun at all for the company side of things. No.
No, but like I said, it's the first time they've done it like this. There are always going to be little teething problems. They didn't anticipate the amount of people watching. Which is what screwed some of the streams up. They've never done rewards multi-server before like this, and that didn't help. So there's always going to be these little teething problems. So, but other than that, it's amazing that lots of people got free shit from Wargaming, and nobody's turned around and said Wargaming is the best company ever. Well, I got lots of free shit.
Because they're upset about them not having good MM.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it'll be resolved. Just seriously, guys, keep an eye out on the messages that are coming through on the official Discord. Yeah. Keep an eye on that, even though you're not on there, but keep an eye on it because as players, it will affect you if you've got keys or you've spent keys or whatever. So just keep an eye on it.
Right.
Because it's going to take them time to obviously work it out. Because I mean, I've looked in my garage today on Asia, and already I've lost 100 and something keys. So they are going through it slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly. The other big thing that came from the Asian tournament is the check line. See, everybody's gone quiet because they didn't watch that part of the video. They did make an announcement that there will be a new line of Czechoslovakian tanks coming. They're under test at the moment, but they did give you a teaser trailer during the stream, the grand final. We don't know too much about them as of yet because, as I said, they're under test. The scheduled date? Well...
Oh no, we know a bit. I think it's like that. There's one point saying like there is 4 in a clip, or is it that the Soviet
4?
tank?
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, but that may change.
Yeah, that may change.
Because.
But maybe it won't change because. It won't change because that's kind of the feature of that tank. So it's probably going to change. Will be the damage and also the DPM, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe 4 in the chamber. I believe it's finalized.
Yeah. Couple of things. Station, yeah, but it's under test, so 1.2 clip on a med is probably going to be dropped substantially. Private Onion, thank you. You're one of the people who did watch it. Woohoo! Simon, well, they're anticipating end of this year, but I agree with you. It'll be next year. Because if it's just under test now, testing normally takes 3 to 4 months. So yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna be a while.
AMX is not released.
Yeah, the AMX has not come out yet.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a while. And Simon's right. It's going to be next year. But I'm not a tester. I don't know. I only know what I saw on the stream. But there is a new line coming out eventually, and it will be the Czech line. So that's not bad. Good ammo rack, even though it's bad games for Melio. But it's nice that there's. But the other thing you got to remember, they haven't announced these things yet, but it's my understanding there are other game announcements coming in the other BlitzCup finals. I don't know what they are. Jack doesn't know what they are yet, so don't ask because we don't know. But I have been told there will be other game announcements made in the other BlitzCup finals.
Okay.
Hopefully Polish mediums.
I have no idea, mate. They haven't talked. They just said because there's going to be a segment on updates. Apparently, that's all we know at the moment. Now the next BlitzCup is RUCIS server. That's next Friday and next Saturday, and it's on the Saturday stream that any announcements will be made. So keep your ears open. But I don't know what the next announcement's going to be. I don't know, Stitch. It could be a new game mode. It could be the next battle pass. Who knows? I have no idea. I just don't know. It could be that the long-awaited AMX is finally finished testing and will be released in the next update. Who knows? It could be that
could be completely broken.
Yeah, it could be that due to the very happy people on Asia with all their keys, that Black Friday is going to be basically for free, and they're just going to give you tanks. Who knows what they're going to say? I don't know. But their clan missions coming. Where did you hear that? I haven't heard that. Did I hear that? Have I heard that? I can't remember.
Yeah, clan missions. Yeah, there are clan missions. Yeah.
Are there? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's good, I believe. Except I'm not in the clan that will be able to get the clan reward. So.
Why is that? What, your clan not good enough?
Well, I don't have enough people. I don't have enough active people in my clan to get the reward.
You're a clan of one or something.
No. I will say the clan missions. I believe I'm not in the clan that would be able to get the rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. So.
Wait, Fujit, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Wait, I have the boosters. If we use the boosters today, is my account is in trouble?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. If you use the boosters.
I used the boosters in announcement. They clearly said it's keys. I'm really confused.
They gave keys. My advice would be don't use anything that you know has come to you erroneously until Wargaming give the all clear. That's what I would do.
Okay. But what about the multipliers? You cannot even unequip them.
Yeah, I used 50 multipliers because you don't have a choice. It's just automatically spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multipliers, I don't think is going to be an issue. I don't think that's going to be the issue. The things that you can use and equip, like camos and boosters and keys, that'll be an issue if you start using them when you know you're not meant to now. I wouldn't do anything with them. There's no harm in not using them at the moment. Wait till Wargaming do whatever they're going to do, and then if they're still in your garage after they've done whatever they were going to do, bonus. Not a problem. But no,
everything.
I mean the times 3 or times 5 things. No, I mean they're automatically put on, so you can't do much about that. So I wouldn't be too worried about those things. It's the keys mainly. The keys are the concern. Because the keys will get you tanks.
And one.
Plus you can
One
sell
will
them.
give you a
I
lot of
just have
credits,
any keys.
so-
Plus you can sell them for a lot of credits.
Yeah, the key. How much credit is it again for each key?
It's
Is that
about
1.5.
it's about 1.5 million.
With 5,000.
Holy
Or
hell,
one key,
that's a
one.
lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if you got 100 keys, that's like, whoa,
Exactly.
you're rich instantly. Wow.
Exactly. I mean, I had 275. Damn me! Damn me for admitting to wargaming. I had 275. Okay.
One of our clanmates got like 60 million credits by selling those keys. Not 60, 30 million credits, sorry.
Yeah, you will do. There's a lot. You get a lot of credits for them. Yeah, I mean, that's the downside. Some people got a lot of keys, and I was one of those people. So some people didn't get a lot, but some people got a lot. Yeah.
I do feel that if. Oh, sorry.
Did you see the tournament, previous Asia tournament? see on previous tournaments.
What about
I
them?
don't know if anyone has ever seen this. It shows Team ID winning the Blitz Asia Cup.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
Now,
Where's Feast there? We need Feast to win the Asia Cup.
No, I haven't seen that. Kareem, what were you going to say?
Well, in most other companies, if the company messed up and gave you free stuff, I think that they'd let you keep it. So I feel that people that got maybe 20 keys, 10, 15, they should be able to keep them. But if you get 100, that's a bit excessive.
And I think that's what
But
they're
I do
looking
feel
at.
that, yeah,
Uh,
if somebody got 10 keys and they got an FCM 50T off of those 10 keys, then I think that's fair enough. Like, you should just, it's your mistake, deal with it. But if you give somebody 200 keys, then that is savage.
I think that's their concern. I don't think their concern is necessarily the guys who got 20 or 30 keys. I think the concern is the guys like me who got almost 300. I think that's their concern more than anything, which is understandable. I mean,
I got 150 keys. I opened the log boxes. I had 57 of them, and I got the Progetto 3 times.
yeah, that's the concern. I mean, if you get like 100 keys plus, when you know you're not meant to be getting 100 keys plus, it's a mixed bag. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying just be careful, guys. Don't do anything until Wargaming announce anything new. What you did prior to the announcement is arguable. After the
No,
announcement,
luckily I did everything before that announcement.
yeah. After the announcement, it's Wargaming have said we made an error. Don't do X, Y, and Z. So if you do X, Y, and Z, then yeah, they will be upset, understandably. But anyway, so that's clan missions dealt with. Checkline dealt with. Next tournament pro wise is next Friday, which is for the first time ever, the CIS RU server will be streamed in English. Yeah, they've never done that before. And it will be myself and Every Good Name is Taken who are commentating. On Friday, Every Good Name is Taken has the reward stream for RU CIS. So make a note of that and clearly abuse him. And make sure he gets a lot of views. I'll be streaming as well, but there's no point watching my stream. There's no rewards on my stream. And then we'll be streaming together as per the Wargaming official World of Tanks Blitz official YouTube on the Saturday. And then the week after, so that's next week. Then the week after next is the EU server, which is the long anticipated one for most of the EU guys, clearly. I've got the reward stream on the Friday, and I will be teaming up with Amunet to do the commentary on that stream. So on Friday and on Saturday, and again, you can get anywhere between 12 to 375 keys. Clearly. And then the last week in November will be NA. So there you go. Yes, Layla, I think that's going to be the case. I think Mr. Every Good Name is Taken will be doing a face reveal for the first time ever. So that's another reason you should watch his stream.
Yep.
Don't you think?
So next week.
Next week.
Next week
is the first, as I said, it's the first time RUCIS has ever been streamed in English. Now, a lot of people have asked me, so just to clarify, on the EU streams, Rib will be streaming in German, guys. So you will be able to see Rib streaming in German. So there will be an English stream, a German stream, and a Russian stream, basically. Those are the languages that will be coming out for EU. So some guys asked me earlier today, is Rib streaming? Yes, he is on EU. So there you go.
And CIS as well, I believe.
I believe so. I can't remember is the honest answer. You'll have to remind me, but yeah, I think he is.
Yep. And hopefully I will be analyzing.
Glenn, when you say the clan rankings for tournament participation, what do you mean the overall? Because they got rid of it, didn't they? Why have I got somebody hovering behind me like a fool? Hang on.
Georgie.
I can see you. I can see your stupid legs. Everybody can see your stupid legs. Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, yeah, my legs are there.
I'm daft.
Yeah, you are. They used to, I think they got rid. They used to be there, but I think it's gone now, hasn't it? Or is it still there? Let me just check. Actually, I'm now going to check because that's an interesting one that you've come up with. No, they got rid of it. Yeah, they got rid of it because it's they only have it for the Ascent Tour. So yeah, it's gone now. It's only ratings now, which is a shame. But yeah, maybe we should. Well, I've been arguing with Wargaming that we should have a league table for clans, to be honest with you. Something that I've been arguing for. But they haven't. Why are you showing me Pepsi? I don't want Pepsi.
Can I drink the rest?
No, you can't drink the rest. You can have a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, goodbye.
Oh, wow.
God, yeah, dearie me. But yeah, as I said, Glenn, we've been arguing that there should be like a ranking structure for clans, and I don't know if that's going to be addressed with the clan missions. It may be. Who knows? I don't know. Possibly. We'll have to wait and find out. It'd be nice.
Let's go. Let's go. Clan missions for tournaments. Let's go.
Yeah, that'd be good. Seriously, that would be good. Well, to be honest with you, I think that'd be a great thing. I think that would be a great thing they should do.
Yeah. No. Okay.
What else was there? Not much else is happening because obviously it's all about whatever it's about. If you're not subscribed to Mighty Noob, subscribe to Mighty Noob. The reason I tell you this is because he's about almost 6,000k in ratings. Okay. Which means he has to give good tanks away for his ratings, battles, missions. So he's almost at 5,000 subscribers. If he gets 5,000, he gets to give away 5 nice tanks. I can't remember what tier they are, tier 8 or tier 9 or tier 10. I can't remember, tier 9 or tier 8. But either way, if you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him because with 6,000 almost ratings points, he's gonna get he's gonna get some good stuff to give away, guys. And if he gets 5k subscribers, he'll get 5 tanks to give away. At the moment, he's only got 4k, so he's only got 4 to give away. So get him up there. And I can't remember what the other ratings points are because I keep trying to see what Every's is, but he keeps going out in a bloody press account, so I can't tell. But at the moment, I haven't done a ratings battle mission stream for a while, which is very lax of me. So I'm still
get me to 1,000 subscribers so that I can do that. RBM.
Well, I'm still stuck on 3,700 because I haven't played ratings for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
but
as soon as
it carries on a bit longer than 2 weeks, so I'm going to be okay.
Good. So as long as I get 1,000 subscribers, I will register my channel into the LBM event.
Well, there you go. Look.
Speaking of subscribers,
yeah,
my YouTube channel has been hanging. My YouTube channel has been hanging for quite a long time. That I haven't used it for at all.
Ooh.
It's sitting at like 600 or something like that.
Ooh.
So I'm actually able to sneak myself in 1,000 and then sneak myself into there.
Well, you should.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah.
So there you go, Maddox also has a YouTube channel. Go and sub to him, get him to 1,000 subs. He's a pro player. He'll do the ratings battle missions, and he'll get some good stuff to give away too.
Yeah.
Well, I've been streamed for a long time already. Like I forgot the last time I streamed on it.
Well, there you go. Look.
Yeah, get me to 1,000 so I can give away something.
Yeah, General. Wow, they're meant to be. I mean, Fizzy is, and Every is, and Mighty Noob is, and you know, those guys are doing it. But I just haven't had the time at the moment. to be fair, because
Right.
because of
Oh,
other
yeah.
things. So
True.
which is annoying because
Mm-hmm.
you know, you need to get those points up to get the things to give away. You know, that's the nicest thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is he's stuck. I noticed on 48,700 subscribers is Meadsy, who apparently once he gets to 50,000, he will have 50 goodies to give away, courtesy of Wargaming. So
Oh my God.
again, if you're not sub to Meadsy, which all of you probably are, sub to him just to get the giveaways. Tell him I said that. Seriously, if you get him to 50,000, then he gets a lot of stuff to give away. Seriously, guys. So if you know people who aren't sub to him, get them to sub, because you guys benefit at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go then, Layla. I mean, maybe he's doing a Minecraft rating. I don't know. It's very strange, isn't it? So before we move on to the very last subject, anything else that you guys want to throw into the mix?
I know Karim has a lot to talk.
Oh, you're throwing Kareem under the bus. I said throw something
Yeah,
into the mix,
Kareem.
not throw Kareem under the
Yes.
bus. Apparently,
Yeah,
Kareem,
What would you like me to talk about?
apparently you've got lots to talk about. Apparently.
Yeah. Apparently, you said in a long passage on FUGT server about like player
Oh.
retention, something like that.
Yeah, it was about last week's coffee chats where
Yeah.
somebody was complaining about
Yeah.
the fact that it was difficult to grind, the how it was difficult to grind for free-to-play players, etc., and how good players didn't have a lot to stick in the game for. And I can't find my message anymore, honestly.
It's still
Oh,
there.
But
It's still there.
It's still there. I read it
Yeah.
earlier as well. And I read it the first time you posted it, but it is still there. So I'll dig it out again in a bit and pin it.
yeah, well, I think my best idea there was the thought of clans. I don't know. I don't even know what I said anymore. But
Player
I think it was something
retention.
to
I
do-
think one of them you said, how can we entice, like, retain the players in the game? That's one of the main question you asked at the beginning.
Yeah. I think part of it was increasing the rewards for tournaments and
Yes.
for ratings.
Yeah, you did say that.
So, for example, yeah, in WOTPC they started giving out tanks for ratings, and if you're a top 3% player, I'd say you're able to get them. So they have a tank called the Concept 1B or the Charter, which are all tier 9s,
Mm-hmm.
and they're generally competitive vehicles.
Hey,
that
Robert,
would be-
another one of
so
my
it'd be-
members. Sorry, Kareem, carry
And
on.
yeah, no worries. And I was thinking that instead of being top 100 and earning gold, if you're maybe top 100, you earn a tier 8 or a tier 7 tank. Top 200, you earn premium time and boosters. It was something similar to that. I can't find the message, so I can't really talk about it. Sorry.
Damn right, Kenobi. And it says, every time I learn something new, it pushes old stuff out of my brain. It's very true. So, no, I'll find the post and pin it. It's well worth looking at, guys. It is on my channel. So by all means, look at it and comment, because he makes some good points. Not just about ratings and stuff like that. In fact, I'll find it now while you lot are talking. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, dee, dee. Oh, hang on a minute. Capsule said something. Oh, Kareem, yeah, it's the one. Yeah, where Kareem says, Wargaming gives out pieces for premium time as a reward for reaching milestones, i.e. 250 ratings in a league, blah, blah, blah. Players receive 15 credit in XP boosters. The rarity depends on the league they are in. As the deal for real said, it's difficult to maintain credits due to the amount of battles you have to try and play to grind successive tanks. This would make grinding XP faster and maintain easier credits. That's true. Wargaming could alternatively give premium time at the end of every rating season. Diamond League, 14 days, Platinum League, 7 days, Gold, 3 days, etc., etc. So there you go. That's what you said.
That's actually good Seems good to me.
Yeah, and I agree. They should do things like that. They should do things like that to give that extra incentive to people to go out and play these type of things. And I mean, it doesn't hurt them much, does it, to do that? If it gets people playing the game, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I feel that Wargaming's approach to generating interest in the more competitive sides of the game has been going wrong. Because, for example, we see giving out free rewards for people watching tourney streams to get them into esports. I think it doesn't really work. People just want the rewards, and
Oh,
for
absolutely.
example, they'd increase. Yeah.
People will just open
If-
the stream and
Absolutely, but I mean, they need the team they've got at the moment. To be honest with you, are really proactive, and they're coming up with ideas all the time. So it'll get there. I think it'll get there.
to be fair, I would rather see a system where they, for reaching a certain higher league, give a simple tier 6 tank or anything that moves.
Well, the higher leagues, the players aren't interested in the tier 6 tanks. That's the thing. I mean, they're interested in they're interested in the IS6 Fearless because it's got a rarity value to it, but it's just an IS6, guys. Whereas if they were to turn around and say, I mean, on the replay at the moment that we're watching Wild Ones Alpha, aka Jack, play, if they would have said,
What am I playing?
the VK90 as a giveaway to Diamond players, that would have been different. People would have that would have enticed people.
What tech am I playing that time?
E50M.
You sure? Oh. Well, okay. I didn't recall I played the E50M and I sent it to you or something.
You played it on the 28th of October at 21:16 and 52 seconds.
Right.
You played on Naval Encounter, and you got a mastery. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. There you go. You played it recently.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
One more thing.
they could do things like that.
One
They
more
could. One moment. They could do a tier 10 for the Diamond League, a tier 9 for the Platinum League, a tier 8 for the Gold League, etc., etc. Hang on a moment.
Delivery.
Huh?
Delivery's here.
A delivery
Yeah.
of what?
I had no idea.
Talk to the people.
Oh. Oh. I know.
Kid's been ordering Amazon
Jesus
packages with daddy's credit.
Is
New
that
TV.
is that the shirt that you're waiting for?
Yeah, probably.
New TV. New PC.
New T-shirt. New polo shirt. New polo shirt. New polo shirt.
Wait, who's this playing right now?
Is that me?
Wait, that's you?
Oh my god.
Is that who?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah, is that you who
Is
just
that
spoke?
you?
Wait.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, you.
No,
The one who's playing is you.
wait, Georgie took over the stream.
We've got a new commentator here, guys.
We got a new commentator here.
Double
So,
E5 is
Georgie.
good, Georgie.
Darren's probably gonna execute me from my stream now.
Why? What are you doing?
They're gonna execute me from my stream.
We should make side gangs coming.
Wait, Fujit, is that new polo shirt?
Oh,
Can't- I think-
he got a World of Tanks. Yeah, is that from World
Oh.
of Tanks?
Package.
Yeah.
Care package triplets.
Yeah.
So Jack,
Yes.
hang on a minute.
The heck?
Hello.
Package from Wargaming, I think.
Yes.
This is Taha, lieutenant.
Yes. Can I call you back in a bit? I'm just in the middle of something.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
What's this one?
So Jack, my T-shirt's turned up. There's only one slight problem,
Right.
and I'll show you what the problem is. Give me a T-shirt.
Oh my god.
I've got to try and get it on the camera. Can you read that?
No, I'm not. Let me get into the stream first. Wait. Just hang on a moment. Just keep that keep that on.
Oh.
Oh my god. Hang on a minute. No, okay. I'm going to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but can you see what
BlitzCup
it's...
Asia.
Asia.
Blitz Asia.
Asia.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? It is Asia.
Why do you say Asia?
It is Asia.
Because they sent it out late.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh
What do you mean? It is Asia.
Wait, so they gonna send one. Wait, so they gonna send one set of shirt for every single stream?
So, I don't know, but I'm assuming so now, which is bizarre.
no. Do you have others as well?
No.
Only
No.
Asia? Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. That's a big oh no moment.
Oh look, I mean, I think I got one time in my highlight saying "oh no" in a very loud voice.
Oh no. The sound
Oh,
bite.
no.
Yeah.
I think it was
Sound
it,
bite.
it was me streaming Anaheim, and I was shouting "oh no" when they lost at the very last minute, at the very last second.
Yeah. So I got my Blitz.
You
I
king
got,
stem.
I got my BlitzCup Asia T-shirt. There you go. What more do you want?
Mine still hasn't arrived
One,
yet.
right after the tournament. Yeah.
Right after the day after the tournament, I get the T-shirt. Woohoo!
I still haven't got my T-shirt yet.
No.
You're gonna get a BlitzCup Asians t-shirt, yes.
Yeah, I think they sent out the. I think they sent it out too late.
Wait, why do you have
Too
two?
late. Too late.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I have one.
Darren.
That's not mine.
2, 1, 2, 2 plus 2.
That's not mine.
Oh, okay.
Put mine back, please. Unbelievable. Kids, I tell you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What can I say? So anyway, what anything else before we move on to the last subject?
I'm going to find the link that's going to track my package.
No, mine turned up. So the last subject is nothing to do with Blitz at all. It's to do with my wife.
Oh yeah, congratulations.
Don't pull this conversation in, Darren.
Be quiet, you. So she's lived without 2 kidneys for the last 2 years. And if you go onto my community tab, if you're on one of my subscribers or in my Discord, you will see that yesterday she was effectively rushed into a hospital in Moscow, which is where we sent her. To be informed that they may have a donor kidney for her.
Did you just say donut?
Donor kidney for her. What then happened was I went to bed and she was waiting for a COVID test. She had the COVID test in the early hours of the morning, and I was told this morning that about 3 a.m. Moscow time she went into surgery. It lasted a long time. She's now in intensive care, but she's had a transplant basically. So everything's looking good on that way. But a couple of things. One, I said in my post, whilst that's great news for my family and especially for my wife, it's obviously sad news for a different family where the donor came from. And obviously without people being donors and without that donor, my wife would, it's not just my wife who's benefited, by the way. There was another person who benefited from it, the liver of the donor. So that person, who unfortunately obviously lost their life, has gone on to save the lives of 2 others. So my thoughts and prayers are with that person's family. I don't know who they are, obviously, because we just don't know. but without them being so selfless, 2 other people would be suffering. So I know their family's suffering, no doubt, but I know we can never do anything to repay them or thank them, because you will never know who the donors are. But just spare a thought for those selfless people who do donate, because without them, these things would be a lot harder. They really would. So whilst it's great news for me, my family, it's obviously sad news for a different family, but hopefully they realise that because of their loved one's act, which was completely selfless, other people have been saved. So it's massive thing for them. So that's what I wanted to say, basically.
No problem. I checked the website. It says my package still in Moscow.
Oh really?
Yeah, it doesn't say it left Moscow.
Oh wow. Well, mine's turned up. You've just seen it's turned up. I've just shown you.
Yeah, no. I hope they know where my address is. Because it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Very quickly, I have to go. So, congratulations to yourself and your wife, Fugis.
Thank you very much, my friend.
To the donor, of course.
Of course.
Best of luck to all of you, and thanks for today.
Thanks, Kareem. Thank you very much, my friend. Talk to you soon, mate. That's about it for me. I may pop on the EU server later for countings and funny stuff that we do on Sundays. So if you're around, by all means, pop in. Thank you very much for the kind words, Layla, Kenobi, Kerfuffles, Taranik, Simon.
Wait, Layla's
Richard. There. Layla's here.
Where? God bless.
Anyway, actually, on the side note, Georgie sounds deeper than before.
No, it's because he's putting on a deeper voice. That's all.
What do you mean?
No, he sounded deeper, yeah.
No, he's just closer to the mic than normal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Oh.
That's the only reason.
I thought something has come.
You see, Layla says she's everywhere, Georgie.
Oof.
Yeah, be careful, mate. I tell you. She knows all about you.
How?
Oh, I tell you, these people have their ways and means. You never know, Georgie. You never know.
Okay, then how many times did I say shoot someone in the backside?
Oh, she knows this. Don't push her on these things.
I will.
Anyway, so well, that's it. So yeah, if you're around later, guys. So as I said, on the EU server, tunes and countings and all that sort of stuff. So.
And I got to do my analysis very soon.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get that one right this time, yeah?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I mean,
just reverse this.
Yeah, just turn it up, guys. Whenever you see Wild Ones Alpha's analysis, just turn it upside down. It's then spot on.
Oh my god! Then congratulations, C4, I believe.
So
C4 is gonna get it. Yeah.
C4 is going to win.
So just for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. So Wild Ones Halper did a prediction on before the Asian Cup, and his prediction was number 1 Feast, number 2 ID, number 3 GV, and number 4 HLV. And what actually happened was number 1 HLV, number 2 GV, number 3 ID, and number 4 Feast. So it was completely upside down. But you know, we give him credit where credit's due. Bless him.
No, I mean the YouTube video got like more than 200 views, so it's good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And with that, guys, thank you everybody who joined on YouTube. I didn't get 20,000 viewers like Wargaming did yesterday. Darn it!
I hope in the future I'll get a lot of views.
But we had we had a good bunch again. That's the main thing.
Yes.
Thank you, all those who joined on Discord. Maddox, get a good rest, man. You've had a busy week.
Perhaps. Well, it's not really a busy week, but like more like
No,
was-
just
it was ups and downs, roller
Yeah.
coasters, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you've still had a busy time. What with the pre-quals, then the training, then everything else. So get some rest, mate. And anyway, thank you for everybody jumping in on Discord. Thank you everybody on YT. Thank you the moderators on YouTube for yet again keeping the chat nice and friendly and a happy place, which is what it's meant to be. They are the unsung heroes of this channel, to be fair. They do all the hard work. I just sit here and chat.
Excuse me?
You don't do anything. You just come in and annoy people. Not you, moderators. I'm talking about Georgie now, clearly. So, big thank you, guys. And remember, as per usual, you know, just have fun. It's a game. Enjoy it for what it is. And until the next time, catch you all later. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And bye for now.
Oof. The game.